umzabalazo nabo bonke ubuhlungu ebuhleni nasebubini ngikhulise ingane yami kahle kakhulu nginikeza uthando lwami lweqiniso uthando oluphelele kulezo zithunzi ngalinda ngesineke nginikela ngeminyaka nginikela ngesikhathi sami kodwa umfudumalo wethando lwami wabandiswa ukungathembeki ukukhashelwa namanga manje sekuyisikhathi sokuthatha indawo yami Nikiwe
All right, so that's exactly what ETV viewers can expect this coming Monday. It's been a long time coming, and it's no doubt going to be a multi-award-winning telenovela. I'm putting my money on it right now. Nikiwe promising to keep fans on the edge of their seats. The series is going to replace, of course, very well-known and popular Durban Gen. The times for you, put it in your diary, work around your load shedding, get your dinner done, put the kids into bed. It's going to be 6:30 on DStv channel 194. So now more on this. I'm joined by probably one of the most talented executive producers in the country, Thomas Gumede, making time out of his very busy schedule because you must have so many people wanting to get hold of you, talk to you, Thomas. I'm talking to you just on your own by the way, of course, but Lungile Khado also involved as well. But yes, you're brave enough to come talk to me. Well done. I mean, how are you feeling? You saw this when you walked on set on this massive video wall. How are you feeling?
Well, firstly, thank you for having me, Gareth. Thank you for all the viewers who have tuned in. Thank you to ETV for the opportunity. And for this, I think we should play the telenovela on cinemas. Every night we should strike a deal with one of the cinema partners and, you know, just play it because it looks amazing.
It'll look fantastic on a screen this size. Don't you want something this size in your room?
Definitely.
At home, you can watch it on this?
Look, I don't think my wife will be too happy to have these faces looking at us at night while trying to go to bed.
On this size television.
On this size.
So, Nikiwe, I mean, obviously we just saw the trailer there, but what I love about trailers, especially our local trailers, is we don't give the story away. Trailers are found on the international broadcasters. It's basically telling you the plot, which it doesn't here. What it's given me is enough to want to tune in, but not enough to tell me what's going on. Tell me about Nikiwe.
So what's amazing about it, not only does the trailer do that, but the first, I'd say, 3 episodes hook you as much as a trailer would. You just keep wanting to tune in, and after that, the world explodes, and you never want to not tune in after that. Like, it's literally unbelievable. I get goosebumps after watching the episodes over and over in edit, you know, but when the music's there and the graphics have been laid and you see it again, it just makes me feel really proud.
It all comes together so nicely as well. So for someone who hasn't followed the trailer, hasn't followed all the social media posts that ETV's been putting out there, their online digital marketing team's doing a great job at that as well. Just give me the premise then of Nikiwe. What is this about? Take me back to the beginning. What is the show about?
So Nikiwe is a story about a family that has everything to gain. You know, it's a family that's doing extremely well on the surface. You've got a matriarch and a patriarch who are doing extremely well in the business world. The Khatebe enterprises are franchised around South Africa and they're making a good amount of money. The kids, you know, there's 3 kids, an older sister, a younger brother and a younger sister who at the surface also attend a grade school, are smart, social media influencers.
It's like an empire family.
It's like an empire family, but set in Deep Kloof, South Africa, right? With all the eclectic mix of all the people who you'd find in the township, from Zulus to Sutus to vendors to everybody who would come to Johannesburg looking for gold. The family finds the gold, and it's only the family that can tear themselves apart, right? They have no enemies that could take them away from their destiny except for themselves. So it's about a family fighting for the power of the business, the power of the family, and essentially it's an inheritance story. Everybody inherits something. That's why the name Nikiwe, which means to be given. The uncle gets given something, the mother gets given something, Nikiwe gets given something, the sisters and siblings, and everybody gets given something. And whether they use it as a burden or as an opportunity is what you have to tune in for.
And I imagine then it's because there's inheritance involved and everyone could be given something or will be given something. It's now a case of who's been given more than other people and who deserves it more than other people. Is that
I mean, Masbisi comes out of prison and wants it. So it's not even an inheritance that needs to be given, essentially.
Yeah.
You know, there's a whole power play that goes on between her and her son because she essentially was the catalyst that made sure that the business could thrive. So she's, you know, as much as an inheritance, she's not inheriting, she's saying, give me back what I gave back, you know. So I think a lot of families have been through it, whether you inherit a couch, a TV, or a cell phone.
Everyone's been there.
Everyone's been there, whether you've contributed a breakfast.
An inheritance is not almost necessarily about the thing, it's about the pride by what you're able to get in the inheritance and where you stand in the family. And I'm taking a look, Thomas, at the trailer again, and we're going to keep looping this. And what I find astonishingly interesting about this is considering how tight budgets are for local productions. You've put together, and if I hadn't known what we were talking about, for me this could have been an international trailer. You've got in studio, your production is outside, so outside productions. I'm seeing drones. I mean, you've really pulled out all the stops on this. Tell me about how difficult it is to put a show of this quality together.
Well, I'm broke now, but the show looks good, you know, so as long as the people enjoy it at home, you know, it really is about, I mean, ETV's been great, you know, they don't blindside you, you know, they say, okay, cool, this is the task at hand, how best can we help you get there? And everybody really just, you know, helps and supports, and I think it's really important as a young production company, I mean, it's the first time we've dealt with a budget of this magnitude, for them to give it to us straight. Without a parent company, without a supervising producer, it means they trust us to deliver this, and they did not give this to anybody better than the people who deserve it right now, which is Parented Advisory Productions. So I just want to reiterate, ETV's been great at making sure that the budgets we do get is something we've all agreed on up front, so it's easier to handle.
Can I ask, perhaps I'm asking a very stupid question. I work in the world of news. ETV is obviously our sister company. I want to ask, what is the difference between a soapy and a telenovela? Is this a telenovela?
It's a telenovela.
Why is that different to like a soapy, for example? Is there a difference, or is it just a change of name?
Look, I'll put it this way. A soapy is marriage. You kind of set it up forever. A telenovela is dating.
Okay.
It can or cannot work out, and you'll give it the right amount of time to see that. But it's not essentially supposed to be lobola. If you get what I'm saying, it's like, let's have fun, let's give you something new, and at any given point in time, we can change it because it wasn't supposed to be forever.
We're not going to all pitch up outside your uncle's house with a bottle of whiskey and start negotiating lobola.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's the easiest way.
Can we talk about, because there's sangomas, or a sangoma in here as well. Tell me about the cost. So obviously when you're putting this together, massive production for a company such as yours, ETV giving you all the trust. Now, of course, you have to sit back and get the right people into the right place. I'm seeing some fresh faces. Tell me who's here.
The cast is amazing. We've got stalwarts, you know, legendary actors, and then we've got brand new faces. Then we've got people who are just on the brink of becoming the biggest superstars. You know, we've got Lungelo Mpangase, who plays Nikiwe, who I essentially had to cast first in my head before actually even writing the story. I had to think of who could be this person that could carry the story that South Africans would want to watch every day. You know what I mean?
And this is who you had in mind.
This is who I had in mind, and thank God she was available and excited, and she's just been killing it. She's been brilliant. We've got Mam Clementine, who plays Mam Masbisi. We've got Kenneth Nkosi, who plays Uncle Skitla. We've got Craig Nobela, Slindo Guhle, who are the new siblings to Nikiwe. We've got Diopelo, who's a stalwart as well. The Sangoma character, Unewa Motai. We've got, I mean, there's so many just great cast members. I can't, you know, name them all now. But when you tune in, you really go, just for the actors, I want to see. Even if they're just running around doing nonsense. Even if there's no storyline, if they were just dancing every day, you'd still want to watch because their performance is amazing. And that's what I really want the show to be about, capturing performances. Yes, we've got drones and some tracks, and we've got some of the toys, but we really, Lance Giver, the DOP, the man who shot Tsotsi,
right,
helped me set up Nikiwe. He's never done a telenovela before, but he was like, let's build a studio, let's make it look international, because that's what the audience deserves.
And it does look international. That's why if you look at that trailer, I hadn't seen that before we went to air, before we started talking, Thomas. It really is world quality as well.
I'll tell you what, there's nothing. It's nothing.
There's more.
It's... Gareth.
That was part A.
I'm going to pirate it to you. I'm going to give it to you illegally. I'm giving you the first episode illegally tonight.
I've got the ETV marketing guys eyeing me off the side of the set here. So we'll maybe talk in private after the show about that one. So when you start then looking at the longevity of this, so I'm glad you explained the telenovela versus the soapy. When it comes to South African telenovelas or soapies, how much do you read into what the audience is saying? Would an executive producer like yourself, I've always wondered, obviously you've got an idea in your mind, you know where this is going to go, you know where it's going to start. You said to me, because it's a telenovela, doesn't mean you have a definitive end, but there or thereabouts, you've got a track that you're following. Could you alter it based on reaction from the audience, who they're liking more?
Not could we. That is exactly our job.
That's exactly how it'll work.
That's how it'll work, you know, and because we have to shoot ahead, it's very tricky. So you'll find, you know, you might even have to go back and do a couple of pickups, add some things, you know. I'm so open to the audience telling me what they want. This is not for me, you know. I'll make stuff for me to watch by myself at my house, but I'm asking for 6 million people every day to tune in. That means they need to actually tell me. And that's really what the concept is about. That's why we focus on capturing performance, locations, the music. It really must speak to the audience. It shouldn't speak to anything else but that. And if we get that right, then we could.
Yeah, that's always the joys of not just social media, but you can see what the audience numbers are telling you, who is liking which character in which part. It's amazing how things can start spinning off.
Even at the premieres, like we said, we had a Durban premiere 2 nights ago. Yeah. And just with the journalists and the media, just sitting and watching the episode with them, you could hear what lands. I'm like, I knew that joke would land. I knew they'd love that song. And I knew, so it gives you confidence to watch it with people and not to isolate yourself and feel like you
here's the product, it's going out and we're going to leave it.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
You can't do that. You cannot detach. You have to walk the journey with the audience.
Let's, as I start saying goodbye to you as well, so I think we've hooked everybody in trailers, talking about all the incredible talent you've got, the incredible production team as well, which is always so important, directors, DOPs, etc., etc. And now, of course, we need to line everybody up. They're going, okay, this is great, Gareth and Thomas. When is this airing? Give us the deets. Is that how the kids say it? The deets?
It's the deets.
The deets. There we go.
The deets of the deets of the deed.
The deets of the deed.
Is the 17th of April, which is tomorrow. Is that tomorrow?
No, one more day.
One more sleep, yo.
The stress is almost over. Monday,
6:30, only on ETV. Every day, Monday to Friday. Catch the omnibus on the weekend as well. You know, binge, do what you got to do. I think it's also going to be on EVOD after the first week or so as well. So just please make sure you tune in. You don't want to miss the first week. You don't want to miss the next week after that. And you definitely don't want to miss the last week.
You know why you don't want to miss it? Because then all your friends are going to be talking about it. And then you have to go back 3 weeks. And you have to write off weekends to try and catch up. Thomas, congrats to you. Congrats to Lungile, the production team, the technical team. I know how much goes into a show like that.
I'd just like to thank the production team, ETV, Absolutely. Every single crew member, from the security guard to the cleaners, to the receptionists, to the wonderful actors, to you yourself, to everybody who's been involved, to the fans who are retweeting, to everybody who's supported us this far. Please keep it up. And they will. Thank you.
And they will. All the very best. This Monday, 6:30. The country is watching, Thomas. All the very best. Congratulations to you. Thomas Gumede, executive producer, one of the executive producers for an incredible new show on ETV. And Thomas, quite right in saying it will be on ETV 6:30 from this coming Monday, the 17th of April. Not only there, of course, going to be 5 nights a week. The omnibus on the weekends, also going to be on EVOD, essentially ETV's catch-up service and streaming service. So there's no excuse. There's no excuse to miss Nikiwe. And why would you want to anyway? All right.